Basically out macroed him, and that's what it came down to. Upgraded him as well. We're going to get into game number 2 and find out if Hope Torture can bring it back and keep himself alive, or if Bomber can clinch a spot in the next round here at the GSL. And here we have in the top right-hand corner of the map our Terran player, who is definitely the favorite in this series, but he has lost series in the past where he's been the favorite. It is Startails Bomber. And down here on the bottom right of the map is his opponent. Was an incredibly good Brood War player in the early days, and actually a very good Starcraft 2 player in the early days of Starcraft 2. Fighting to keep up with the scene now, it is Hope Torture into the rainbow. Alright, and this is the map Calm Before the Storm, one of our new maps. GSL. And Bomber going in and putting down his depot. Both players actually putting their depots next to their mineral lines. They don't want to try and push out. You know, in other matchups you see Terran players will put their depots out here to block things off. And it's not very common in Terran versus Terran because Terran units are mostly ranged. So, yeah, you usually don't have to. Well, actually, they're all ranged, I guess. No, I can't put the units not ranged. Anyway, point being, if you have your buildings out in front, then your enemy can take pot shots at you, basically. Now, this is a map. We do have Bomber scouting a little bit early, by the way. Hope Torture did not scout very well in the previous games. And Bomber was able to get an advantage from some good early scouting, although he is going to send his SCV the wrong direction. Of course, he got it wrong in a way that it's not going to end up well for him. Not that it was a bad decision, he just doesn't know where he is. But he's probably not going to be able to get any information here, basically. Both players doing pretty much the same build at this point, by the way. Anyway, this is a map where you actually have a ramp that goes down to a little backdoor expansion where there is... it's basically free because it's behind, so you can hold this ramp still despite taking an expansion down here. Of course, it is vulnerable to drops, since it is kind of way back in the back of your base. It's a long distance from where you're going to rally your troops at the front. But it's really easy to hold as long as you defend it against drops. So it's really common to see people take that. Even actually, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't have been surprised if someone did a, command center first build on this map. We do have a Reaper expand coming out from Hope Torture. He's rallying out that Reaper, and oops, there he is, rallied to the front. And so that's going to be good. He's going to be able to go in once he finds Bomber's base. Actually, he's still not scouting at all. Hope Torture doesn't even know what spawn location Bomber is in, actually, and that's not good at all. I guess he's just going to scout with the Reaper and try and find out, maybe. So that's a little bit odd to see Hope Torture not scouting at all. We're going to have this SCV try and get in and see if he can get past this Marine to get a scout in, and oh, Hope Torture, well, actually he gets the kill on that SCV, but it's because of this Reaper. I don't know if Bomber was paying attention to that or not. At the time, he might have noticed that it was a Reaper shot that killed his SCV if he was watching. Otherwise, he might not know what exactly killed it. But this is actually apparently defensive Reaper. And Hope Torture still has no idea what spawn position Bomber is in. I gotta feel like that's a little bit of a mistake here, not at least knowing where Bomber is, so he can at least, scan and find out what tech he's up to or something like that. Because he could get caught by anything. He could get really caught off guard. There's going to be Banshees coming out here before too long. He is going to be able to put out a lot of Marines, though, with these 3 barracks. Producing a lot of Marines, getting that stim upgrade as well. There's that Reaper finally going out to scout. And I guess he's going to pick the right direction to scout this time. And he doesn't really know, again, though, where Bomber is. He's just going to run this Reaper in, and it probably is just going to die when it hops up here. And up there he sees the bunker. He's going to hop in anyway. He sees the factory. Is he going to spot anything else? No, he's not going to spot anything else. Gotta look at the gas, but that doesn't really say much of anything. It does not tell him that there's a Banshee over here, especially since the factory will often be the building that makes the tech lab. Oh, is he going to get in here after all? He is going to get in, and he scouts the Oh, he does see the Banshee. The Banshee's actually going to take time to kill that Reaper. Doesn't save the SCV building the command center, but picks off that Reaper. And now Hope Torture can really be prepared for this. In fact, he's going to try and cut off that Banshee on its path to try and get into his base. Here comes the Banshee. It's going to fly right over. What will Bomber do? Will he react in time? No, he will not. Loses that Banshee for free. Doesn't even take a shot on those Marines. So that was really bad. He's got his Banshee scouted and he didn't pay attention to it as it went in. And it just got popped there, so not very well done by Bomber. And so, as a result, we have Hope Torture getting his expansion up a lot sooner. Look at this, even there's a turret back here, so the Banshee's coming in to try and harass. The turret will help fend it off. Yeah, so Bomber's actually getting behind in this game. He's going to have his expansion up before too long as well, but it's going to be up much later. And yeah, so he's falling behind an SCV count as well. Hope Torture able to make double SCVs. Here comes another Banshee though, trying to do some damage. He's able to pull back, but there's so many Marines there. Oh, and he was within range of, oh, snaps that Banshee out of there as well. I think it only got 1 or 2 SCV kills. Beautifully played by Hope Torture there. He was actually able to, the reason why the Marines were firing when they were right here is this turret actually has a little bit larger vision range than its attack range. So it can only attack out to here, and it can actually see farther, so the Marines were able to get some shots on it. And then using the scan to polish it off, very smart move. So Hope Torture just going for massive amounts of Marines here, basically. And he's going to probably start adding on siege tanks and medevacs, and just go for a very standard Marine tank army push. Bomber has another Banshee on the map somewhere. I do not see where. Oh, there it is. There it is. Going in to try and get some more kills. Does he have a scan save up? He does have a scan, as well as that turret there. That is so many Marines. He does have stim as well. Oh, forces the stim on some of those Marines. And forces the scan and gets away with the Banshee with 11 hit points left. So nicely done by Bomber there with that second Banshee. Doing a little bit of damage, but again, Hope Torture's still pretty far ahead. Still with a better economy at 48 Harvesters to 38. A little bit of a drop coming out from Hope Torture here, and Bomber actually just finished his turrets. So he's going to be okay against the medevacs, but there's a nice little gap here, and that's exactly where Hope Torture is going to drop. Nice little drop here, and he actually, Bomber drops mules there, not even realizing that the drop is incoming. Hope Torture is got to be careful though. There's some Marines. He doesn't want to walk his medevacs into the turret fire either. He's actually being really careful about that. But here comes Bomber. He's attacking in only with 1 medevac, so he's going to be able to heal up more, but the siege tank is definitely going to neutralize things. Oh, and oh, wow. Somehow Hope Torture saves that medevac and is able to keep those units alive and keep his supply lead as high as it is, which is 24 at the moment. Bomber starting to macro up as well, starting to produce lots of Marines here. He's getting his tanks going on. Let's check the tank count. 2 tanks out for Bomber, only the 1 for Hope Torture. He got his factory a little bit later. Starting to produce tanks. He does have a lot of medevacs out though. Yeah, 5 medevacs to the single medevac that Bomber has been able to produce thus far. And he actually even only doesn't even have a reactor on the starport, although that might be what this reactor is for that starport. We're going to find out at some point. Well, we'll see. Anyway, so Bomber dropping his mules over here, getting his economy going, just trying to macro things back up. This time Hope Torture is the one with the better upgrades. He actually has 2 Qs starting already on his bio, and he's actually going for a little bit of an attack. He could catch Bomber with only +1 weapons and no combat shields. Nope, but this Banshee's going to draw him back a little bit, and that would have been a really good time to attack, but it's not going to happen after all. Not at the right timing, at least. He still does have combat shields, though, which is going to give him an advantage, but you just cannot attack up a ramp into siege tanks with just Marines. He could, of course, siege up on the low ground. Actually, no, siege tech just beginning for Hope Torture, so he can't siege up on the low ground. Just putting a little pressure on there, seeing what you can see, and seeing if Bomber had taken this expansion base, then he would have been able to attack it. So Goes over there, finds that he did not take that expansion, forced to fall back. Bomber now moving out on the map as well, leading with a single Marine, just trying to see what's going on, doesn't want to get caught running into a siege tank line that's sieged up or anything like that. He doesn't know that what we do. Oh no, no! Whoa! Almost flies his medevacs into siege tank fire, or into Marine fire, and he's actually not turning around. This is horrible. Hope Torture losing his medevacs. He finally does turn, but he doesn't have siege tech yet. He needs siege mode. If he fights without siege mode, it's going to be a horrible disadvantage. And so he's just trying to stall a little bit longer. He did lose 2 medevacs, but he kept 3 of them, so he's still okay in that regard. And this is also, he's trying to buy time for this 2-2-1. Once he gets 2-2-1, meaning +2 armor, +2 weapons for his Marines, and +1 attack for his tanks, he'll have a major upgrade advantage. And here comes Bomber, though, not giving him that time. Hope Torture is sieged up already, though, and Bomber has forced to fall back. Hope Torture throwing a lot of Marines in there. His siege tanks within range to do major damage. And Alliance, basically an even trade there. Bomber attacking at just the perfect moment. Hope Torture forced to engage just before 1-1 was completed. If 1-1 had been completed, then Hope Torture would have taken that battle by a much larger margin. But he is in good position to take the second game at this point. Well, he's still a lot of pressure on him. And, oh, look at this. Oh, nice. Moving in there just outside of range, getting a pot shot on that enemy tank. Bomber forced back. Again, 3 weapons and armor is now on the way for Hope Torture. He must have looked at that last game and been like, man, I really got out upgraded there. I'm going to try and make sure I stay on top of my upgrades this game. And he is doing a good job of that. Armory just now going down for Bomber, so he's going to be late on his mech upgrades as well, although Hope Torture is not taking his chance to get his +2. Where's that Armory? Armory's just chilling. Uh-oh, we might have another big battle here, though, at the Zelnaga Tower in the middle. Vision advantage goes to Bomber as he has control of that tower, but he's actually lost control of that. Hope Torture needs to be very careful. All of his Marines are, I believe, on hold position. Yes, they are, to make sure they don't run in to the tank fire, which is so very close to their position. Needs to be very careful here. And Hope Torture thinks, all right, this is a risky situation. It's a small choke point. I don't want to get caught here. I'm just going to fall back, go around the other way. Very smart move. Bomber does have a couple Marines over here to spot this army incoming, though. Is he going to unsiege and move positions? He's going to unsiege and move. And interestingly enough, Hope Torture, wow, Bomber thinks his army's coming through here, and Hope Torture is going to go back around the other way. Nope, just going to take up full position there. Never mind. So, very interesting play here. Now, Bomber does have his third up as well as Hope Torture. Both of them have their third bases going. Hope Torture has the gas at his third, though. So he's going to be able to produce more of those high-tech units, more of the tanks, more of the medevacs, because he's going to have more gas income there. And here comes a large stim from Hope Torture, though. He might just stim into tank fire. This could be turn things around for Bomber. And looks like Hope Torture is going to take the battle anyway. I'm a little surprised he didn't wait for 3-3. Because that would have made it an even more decisive battle. Now Hope Torture needs to make sure he does not get overextended here. He has a lot of siege tanks, but he doesn't have a lot of Marines to back them up. So he needs to move in here, and there's the GG coming from Bomber. Hope Torture takes game number 2, and we are finally, for the first time this evening on this stream, going to go to a game number 3. We're going to see an ace match to see who is going to advance to the second round.